My name is Mike Blinder. I am honored to have you on board. And for those of you who don't know me, I publish E&P Magazine. Wikipedia says we're the Bible of the newspaper industry, but I like to think we're a heck of a lot more. Because we're not just about newspapers, and we're not just about operations, and we're not just about building great stories. We're also about finding sustainable models of journalism. And I think Howard, my host today, my guest, your company has been a big partner of E&P. I want to welcome you first, Howard Barbanel. You, sir, are the, let me see, I've got you listed here with your official title, and I like to make sure that I know the titles properly, but I've got you listed here as Executive VP of a company called Design to Pro. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct. Thank you.
And with your kind permission, we can be discussing design. We can be discussing how great stories should be and how great our publication should be. But would you say I'm overstating it when I say what you really can offer people as well as efficiency, scale, and more importantly, the ability to focus their jobs on I guess, doing journalism, not having to worry about some of the added worries. Am I saying that about right, or how would you give me the elevator pitch there, Howard?
I would say that really what we do is streamline and bring in efficiencies, not only cost efficiencies but workflow efficiencies. But most importantly, we also provide access to some of the world's best newspaper designers and ad designers. And it's about accessing a talent pool that often in small and mid-sized markets are not available. That level of skill and talent is not just it just isn't recruitable. And even in large markets, if you can find people with that talent, it would probably cost multiples of what you'd pay to access this talent through us.
Um, you do more than just look at. Let's run down. I mean, we're going to give you a chance to explain what Design to Pro is. You do a lot of newspapers, right? I mean, a whole mess of them. When I went through your world of publications, I know it's dozens and dozens, but they're all shapes and stripes. Am I right, sir?
We handle about 335 different publications every week, of which probably 80% are newspapers, the rest are magazines. And there you go, magazines. And we have a newspaper design team, a magazine design team, and an ad design team. So we have three different groups or battalions or organizations within the organization, each focusing on a particular area so that we do it well. I should say that all we do is publication design. We're not distracted by 150 other things. We just focus on one thing, and that is publication design.
Would you be mad at me if I were to say that I feel amiss that you did not put E&P in your list? Can I brag that you're doing an amazing job with our magazine as well? Or, I mean, you must mention our name every now and then to someone that you're proud to be, because you do an amazing job. We get compliments all the time. Just came back from Mega Conference where we distributed 300 issues of our latest issue, and people were just, going wild at how good it looks. And a lot of that is up to you guys, right?
Well, I'm very, very proud of our magazine team, our glossy team. And yeah, we take a great deal of pride in doing editor and publisher, and we take it very seriously, and we're very proud of it. And because with you, we're partnering with you to be an ambassador to the industry and making you look good and making any of our customers look good is job one here.
Well, speaking of customers, you mind if I go around the table for a second, Howard? You can hum to yourself if you wish, or what have you. But I love this pub. I mean, I've been stalking you there, Lawrence. How are you doing? It's good to see you, Lawrence. I have
Very
your
good.
official title as managing editor, the New York City Jazz Record. Um, Welcome to the program, sir. Very excited to bring you in because I used to play alto sax in a jazz band.
Ah,
I know that Take Five was not written by Dave Brubeck, but by Paul Desmond, the sax player. I am a jazz enthusiast. I actually went to Newport in my youth. So, but you're the New York City scene, am I correct, sir? Give us quickly the Cook's tour of what the heck New York City Jazz Record is, if you don't mind.
sure, sure. We're a monthly jazz publication. We were founded in 2002. We print up about 10 to 15,000 copies every month. It's a monthly issue that comes out by the first of each month. And we have approximately 10,000, in addition to the 10 to 15,000 that we print, we have about 10 to 15,000 monthly online visitors. But we're primarily known for the imprint hard copy. It's distributed throughout the city, as well as the tri-state area and select national locations. We have an international subscribership. Um, Mostly found at clubs, venues, instrument and music stores, record stores, colleges, universities, some music programs that are in our subscriber base. It can also be found throughout Midtown Manhattan. So if you get off Grand Central or Penn Station, we're in street corner vendor boxes.
That makes the cover really important. Am I correct? You got to have a compelling, great design in order to get that magazine picked up, especially when it's sold that way.
Definitely.
If you're like me, my wife and I spend 3 or 4 days working with Howard's team on the cover, and we have arguments. We don't with the team; we have them with each other, and then we try to blend in to make that cover rock. How much effort and energy do you put into that? I'm curious, and how much support are you getting from the outsourced design services at Design to
Yeah,
Pro?
I mean, normally it's the first thing before everything else. I mean, we assign all the features and reviews, but as far as the first thing that we're in touch with Design 2 Pro about, it's usually to iron out the cover. And they've done a marvelous job. We've used Design 2 Pro. We've been around for since 2002, and we've been with Design 2 Pro for the last, I guess, beginning of 2023. So. Two,
Okay, recent.
yeah.
All right. So, what made your? Let me ask you. Did you have an in-house design team? Do you still have one? Did you decide? What made you decide to outsource? Was it Howard's amazing salesmanship, or what did you do? What threw the switch and why?
Well,
Take us through the.
in a nutshell, when I co-founded the paper, my business partner at the end of 2022 gave his notice, and I actually was about to throw in the towel,
Huh.
thinking that was the end of the publication. And a printer that we also started recently going with, Rickner Printing, recommended
You mean
Design
Richner? You print with the
Richner. Yeah,
Richner
yeah,
guy. I know him well. You're printing out
yeah.
on Long Island. Okay.
Yep,
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So they recommended me to Design 2 Pro, and suddenly it became realistic to continue the operation.
How does your sales force feel about the design work on the ads? Do you get things turned around the way you want? And I want honest answers to this. You don't have to
Oh,
stroke
sure,
Howard
sure.
here. Just go
No,
ahead.
I mean my mission was, once we started with Design 2 Pro, my honestly my mission was to be as seamless as possible. I didn't want anyone to notice that there was, this massive interior change. Since my business partner took care of all the layout and the design. So there's been no complaints at all. It's if anything, it's been an improvement, but no one has mentioned that there have been any changes. So yeah, nothing but compliments.
Um,
About it.
efficient. I got to ask about efficiency.
Yeah.
Uh, when you ask for something to be done, are you getting it done on time? And how does that process work for you, sir?
Yeah, no, we have very strict deadlines. Unfortunately, my position's kind of a 24/7 where I'm
Okay.
always on email. I mean, I can't get off of email unless I'm at a live show. So, it's hard to expect that from everyone around me, but Design to Pro seems to keep up with my schedule as much as possible. The thing is I work through the weekend, so I have to make sure that, before the weekend hits, I've gotten what I need to get from Design to Pro and the folks there.
One of the compliments I'd like to give Howard and his team, again, I'm giving a personal endorsement. Howard, are you mad if I do that right now? We just switched printers in the last 2 months, which changed the entire upload system, workflow system, and your guys grabbed it instantly. The fact that we had a different, place to put it, and then now the files they're on a special Kodak-based site where we have to approve every page in advance, and your team just bam, bam, bam. It's like I didn't feel any friction. So I assume the nimbleness is still there, and that's one of the things I like most. Plus, we're tapping a lot of talent, but I want to take you to another place. If you don't mind, I'm going to let you, if I can, Lawrence, wait in the background for a second, hum to yourself. We're bringing you back, but I'd like to take people now to San Diego, if I may, and bring in our next speaker. That's Julie Main. Julie, you got an easy title. I have you as publisher of San Diego Community News Group. Would you do me a favor and just describe your operation, how big it is, what you publish, and what you guys are up to out there, please?
Sure, Mike. Hi, hello to all of you. Yeah, I have been with the community newspapers here. We created San Diego Newspaper Group in 1988 and have been increasing our expansion with our print newspapers, very hyper-local communities, and have been growing. It was about, I believe, Howard, you might remember, I think it was around 2011 that we changed from a full graphic production department over to the Design to Pro when I acquired some other publications. And at that time, it made sense to jump into Howard's program, and I have really been glad of the change and the savings, and the transition was just a learning curve, but it's great so far.
Um, Howard, did you want to add to that? She brought you in for a second there. Any comments on the transition and how you brought in the San Diego group?
Well, the key thing is to work very closely with all the people at any given publication or group when making the transition. And we try to do that by listening and by asking the right questions, and also by being available. We have live real-time customer service that people can reach our project managers, our management team, pretty much all day and deep into the night if necessary. And we're very adept at replicating existing designs. So like Lawrence was talking about, that no one could tell that we took over the design on New York Jazz. We're very adept at replicating the existing design and then tweaking it and modifying it if that's what the publisher wants, or keeping it exactly the same if that's what the publisher wants. If you go to our website and you see our portfolio page, you'll notice that no two publications look the same at all. We are not forcing people into standardized templates. Everything we do is fully customized work, so that what we do is execute your vision and we take your direction. You are in control. You call the shots. You're not being squished into. We're not squishing a round peg into a square hole. You get to stay as round a peg as you want to be, and our goal is to accommodate that and execute your vision and to make you and your vision look as good as possible.
Getting back to Julie here, Julie, you got how many publications are you how many are you putting to bed every week? It's 5, 6? What's the number?
Well, we have made some changes recently with the pandemic and on scheduling, but we publish 3 papers that are alternate weeks, and then we have other monthly. So Howard and team are putting together 7 titles for us.
There's a lot of ads in here. By the way, congratulations. There's a lot of ads in there. I think that's
Thank you. Yeah, we utilize both Howard's team with the production, with the news pagination and templating, and we also give probably 90% of our ad design and development, and with other whether it be flyers, media kits, various projects, we allow his very creative team to push those out for us as well.
How's your sales department feel about an outsourced design sometimes on the ads? I mean, I'm not trying to put, put vinegar in the soup, but I've sometimes,
You know what?
yeah.
Other than just a simple learning curve, it's, the process was very similar to what we do just within our office. Same kind of relationship. You have a designated team that works with Design to Pro. We're familiar with them. We know who to contact if we're hung up somewhere along the way. I mean, it is pretty amazing that we're able to get this stuff done in such a prompt manner and efficiently when they're in a different time zone and they're dealing with a whole lot of different issues like the pandemic and like the invasion of Ukraine and having to go through that experience with them. And I'm so impressed by the team and how they've really had very few hiccups along the way. Sales team, simple process, entry point, let it be as creative or be as specific as you want, and it's fast turnaround.
I want to invite our audience to ask any questions in the chat room they wish. I'm keeping an eye on it. I promise I'll bring them up. And feel free to ask your questions, if I may, to the entire group. I'm including not just the panelists, I mean all of us, everybody who's attending as well. So maybe there can be a dialogue in there. I would like to, before we move on to our next speaker, we're going to go to Ocala next. So stand by, Ocala. Howard, how simple is the process for a publisher to request an ad? I'm familiar with it. It's called an ad portal. But can you discuss that brief? I didn't take a snap of it, I'm sorry, but it just looks like a normal place where you simply type in the copy you need, what you need, and then it usually gets turned around with an hour or two, is what I noticed. Am I correct?
Well, don't put us on the spot that it's done in an hour or two, please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That'll get us in trouble. But I will tell you, if we receive your ads before lunchtime, chances are pretty solid that you're going to see that first proof the same day. And we have a fully interactive CRM portal, and you can have as many users on it as you'd like. And it's very, very easy to upload and attach copy, layouts, attachments, asks for special instructions such as stock photography or logo development or anything like that. You can communicate with our team on the portal or on the phone or by Zoom or any which way that you want. And changes and corrections usually done in under 90 minutes if they're not incredibly complicated. Also, web and print ads can be done at the exact same time. So you could submit a copy for both web and print at the same time and have an integrated campaign. We pride ourselves in speed at the ad portal. We know that time is money and that often an advertiser might be waiting to approve or sign off on an ad or a campaign before the ad gets to run, and more significantly, before you get paid. And so we don't want to hold you up. And at the same time also, and I'm sure some of our publishers here will acknowledge this, you could be pitching an advertiser for weeks, and all of a sudden they say yes 2.5 hours before press time. And you don't want to turn down that $600-700, but you need an ad done in 2 hours, and then you need the page completely remade. And so the answer to that is yes, we can do that, and no, there is no extra charge for rush ad service, although
Well,
we ask people not to abuse it.
you have the deadline box right here, which was what I use. And I hope you see this on the screen, everyone. They also memorized, or I uploaded to it, my standard sizes for my online ads and my print ads. So it's just, copy paste in the dial what you need. You can actually, you give us a complete design library that I can go into and say, I love this image. Can you work that in? I hate this image. Don't use that one. Or sometimes I ask the designer to suggest some. So yeah, not only does your low fee include the design service, but it gives you access to thousands, hundreds of thousands, I don't know, tons of different, images you can search for. Am I correct, sir? I mean,
Yes,
part of the
stock
service.
photography is included, and it's included also for editorial design. So if you have, let's say, a special section on senior health, and you need a picture of a gray-haired couple doing yoga, you just tell us, get us a gray-haired couple doing yoga, and we'll drop it in there.
All right. So again, another place for scale and efficiency. I want to go to a town that is near and dear to me because I used to live about 40 miles south of Ocala. So with my kind permission, now I'm going to move us to Jennifer Hunt Murdy, publisher, owner, journalist. I like the fact that you put the word journalist, Jennifer, in your title as well.
Small
And
town publication. I have to wear all the hats.
hey, who's the dog?
And
What's
this
the
is my
dog's name?
assistant, as you see.
You know, it's funny. We started a section in EMP called News Pets because so many operations have dogs and cats, or people who are working outsource had. Especially, we did this during COVID, and we got some of the most amazing pictures of
Yeah.
people. So,
I've always had a dog-friendly office, always. I think everybody works happier.
all right. So, Ocala is a beautiful area north of Tampa. What about you're about an hour and a half north of Tampa, right? And you're
Mhm.
right on the highway, college town in a way. You know, you're part of that. Okay, you know that college center. It's cultural. It's not a suburb of Tampa. It's an entire its own ecosystem.
Oh yeah, we're an hour and a half. We're in,
Right.
right smack dab in the center of the state. We're known as the horse capital of the world, and yes, it's trademarked. Uh,
Well, you're talking to a guy that lives about a few hours south of Louisville. I think they would, but no, I
yeah. Oh no, we argue about it with them.
talk to me about the Gazette. How often do you publish? How big is your team? What is the scale of your operation? And you have another one as well. You do a lifestyle magazine too.
Yes.
Am I correct?
So we publish a magazine, Ocala Style. It's a 25-year-old publication that I bought in 2018, and then I started the Ocala Gazette about 5 years ago. It's a daily digital weekly print product, and it's only focused on local news. And we're the only outlet that right now for my community has a full-time photojournalist, so photography is a big part of ours, capturing that history. And also we're the only outlet that does investigative journalism, so I'm really proud of that. So
Well,
because we take a lot of the hard subjects, graphic design has sort of having the expertise to get that element done has been one of the more frustrating parts since I came into this business until now, I have to say. I am just really, really, really impressed with what we're able to do with this company. I mean, I wouldn't have imagined it. Honestly, it's gone that much better than I thought.
talk to me about your operation. When did you decide to outsource design? Because look at these covers. Look how gorgeous they are. And look, I mean,
It was last year. I think we've been with them now for about 10 months. And what happened is I would hire a graphic design. We're sort of a small or rural area, and it was hard to find the expertise. And then even when I did, like all artists, they're um, sometimes difficult personalities to deal with. And it was hard, sometimes always finding the right fit. One of the things that I love about the dynamics with um, this company is that I'm the client, I'm the customer, instead of the employer taking a lot of abuse from an employee. It's hard to manage. And I cannot tell you how much relief it has brought my life. Just not having to deal with that. That one little thing really helps. So thank you, Howard. And I think I found you at a moment of crisis where I didn't have anybody, and I called the news publisher one county over and asked him if he had anybody I could even borrow to get through the week. And he goes, "Well, let me make you an introduction." And he had been with Howard since they started, I believe. So
We got some questions in chat, Howard. I think I know the answer to this one. And it's a good question. JK is asking, are there any copy editing services? And that's not really you want we do the copy, you do the layout and design, correct, Howard? Do I have that right?
We are not engaged in any editorial functions. That entirely is meaning you, the publisher or the editor, that is your purview. So we're not providing copy editing. At the same time, we're also not writing stories, and we're also not writing headlines. What we do is design pages and ads, and that's all we focus on. Although I should say parenthetically, we do for many customers manage their websites and post the editorial content to their websites, along with creating the ebook and posting that up as well. But we focus really just on publication design, and we leave the driving of editorial to the editors.
You have a question here from Jerry Edwards. I think you'll get back to him privately. He's a daily, and he's going to need turnaround on a daily basis. Do you handle any dailies? Or are you mostly weeklies at this time? What do you
No, we handle a whole bunch of dailies, and we're used to midnight deadlines, and we're used to late nights with Friday night lights with football and basketball and things like that. And we're used to turning around news pages and front pages in 20 minutes if we have to. We have a specialized team within our newspaper team that handles dailies, that has a lot of experience. This is our 21st year, by the way. So we have a lot of experience with daily newspapers, and we have we call it our daily SWAT team of people who know how to work very fast. And then, of course, the flip side is if we're doing a glossy magazine or a monthly, we have a team that knows how to really take their time and saute the dish really slowly. So
You are
it
full
depends
of
on what the
metaphors
customer
today,
needs.
Howard. When we take the audio transcript on this, there's a lot of good pull quotes coming out of you. We have Jeff here asking, which do you use Adobe Suite? And how are the edits handled? I can answer the edits. That's easy. I mean, we just send PDF files up with little stick-it notes on it. Exactly. Can you make this curvature more? Would you reduce? We're into these notes. But are you doing an Adobe workflow, if I may ask?
Yes, we're using the latest Adobe Suite, Adobe Cloud, and that means all the Adobe programs, InDesign, Illustrator, whatever. I mean, we have the latest software. I should say, paradoxically, we also have really old software. So if you, as an editor or publisher, are using something from 20 years ago, chances are we have it, and we can update it to the latest software. And this is something that you also save on when working with us, is that you no longer have to buy software upgrades. You no longer have to have a software subscription. All you need to have is a PDF program where you can open PDFs and comment on them. So there are a lot of savings there. But we've encountered publishers who are working in Quark programs from 25 years ago, and we have that. We have that software, and we can convert it into the latest cloud suite.
Bob, don't go anywhere. I'm saving the best for last, and there's a reason for that.
Great.
Stick around, Bob. I mean, I know you've been
I
patient.
came
There's
in
a
the room
story
last.
I'm going to ask you about in a moment. But Howard, we have another question. Please keep the chat room going. These are all excellent questions. Progress Times asks, uploading content to website, is there a bundle of services, or is all this a la carte? I'm assuming you price the whole thing into one happy monthly bill, Howard. Someone's asking about.
Well, here's the thing. We have flat per page pricing, and everything is totally included in that pricing. There's no charge for changes and corrections. There's no charge for ads. There's no charge for web updates. We even will do a couple of MailChimp or Constant Contact email blasts for you every month. There's no charge for stock photography. There's no charge for marketing media kit and promotional materials.
Business cards. You did my business cards.
Yeah, any graphic need that you have is included. Let's say you need a pop-up banner for a community fair or show that you're doing. Anything that you need graphically, we are your graphic department, and you're not nickeled and dimed with extra charges for overtime or corrections, or you need a project done on the fly, or you have a rush job. And by the way, also included when we're doing your whole publication, spec ads. If you want to sell creatively and not just sell space, spec ads are included, and you can come at us with a couple of concepts that you want to pitch to a client. We'll turn around some spec ads, and you can present some creative, and hopefully they'll buy into the ideas. And so spec ads are also included.
All right, I'm going to take you guys to one of my favorite spots in the world. And there's a reason, Bob. Bob First, publisher, Shore Local Magazine. Haverford High School, class of 75, Bob. Do you know Havertown? Do you know where it is?
I do, outside Philly.
And by the way, the Wawa logo you're looking at, when I was a kid in the 60s, Wawa milk was delivered to my house. Now, the reason I love this is anybody from that region knows, first of all, what a good cheesesteak and hoagie is. That's another issue. But they also know the word shore. You do not say coast. You call it the Jersey Shore. Am I
don't
right?
say coast or beach.
No.
It's the shore, going down the shore.
You got that accent I miss so much, Bob, that Philly accent. When I was in high school, I graduated in 75. The drinking age in Pennsylvania was 21. It was 18 in Jersey. So we did our senior week in Ocean City. But correct me if I'm wrong, is Ocean City still dry? You can't buy a drink?
It sure is.
So is there still a Circle?
Yeah, no, not even a BYOB. All the restaurants are
So the
completely
largest
dry,
volume
which
liquor,
explains why there isn't that many restaurants in Ocean City.
but the largest volume liquor store in the entire East Coast of America is Circle Liquor, right before you go
One of
over
my best advertisers, and
Oh.
they pay their bill just like that.
And Tony Mart's was a club back then, and some of the bands that we enjoy today, we're playing the stages of the clubs, and so you went to Summers Point to have fun, and then you went to Ocean City to enjoy the beach. But you cover that entire amazing region, Atlantic City, Brigantine. This is a wonderful part of this is a great place, I'm sure, to live, to prosper, and of course, you do a Shore Local Magazine. Is that a monthly, sir?
It's a weekly.
It's a weekly.
We started about 10 years ago. It's going to be 10 years in March. But when we did, so we evolved over time from every 2 weeks to every week in the summer, because it is a seasonal market. And now we're weekly year round, every Thursday.
How big's the staff?
I'm the staff. I'm the staff. I'm the delivery guy. I have ink on my fingers from rushing here after delivering papers, going to the printer today. Yeah, our strength is the fact that we're small. We keep our overhead very low. All we pay is our printer, Design to Pro, and our freelance writers, all 1099s, who submit their stories each week. We work out of our house. It's my wife's the editor. She handles the all the writers, and I handle all the ads with very little help in sales. It's all me.
By the way, if I can just interject, Bob, tell them where you started at with your number of pages and where you're at now at your peak in the summer.
We started at 28 pages, and now we're a little over 100 in the summer, and 80, generally 80 in the spring and fall, down to the winter. I think we did like 60 pages. So it's grown over the 10 years, no question about it. And Howard, your team has been a big part of that. We get compliments every day from our readers, from our advertisers on the design, the look, our printer. I mean, I have to give our printer credit too. So it's been wonderful. And we also, like a lot of the publishers here, are faced with a different kind of landscape with our competitors. And in my case, the daily paper went to 3 days a week in the mail. The weekly that the daily owned went out of business. So really, we're the only publication covering this area at the moment.
There's a question in chat I'd like to have Howard address. I think I know the answer. I love your dog, Jennifer. Keep the dog. What's the dog's name again, Jennifer? You're in mute. You have to unmute. But what's the dog's name? Oh,
Maggie.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay. Maggie, you're good. You're a good girl. Howard, we got a question. Did you work with the same designers? They pulled from a pool of designers. Go ahead.
Every publication gets the same dedicated designer or designers every week. And that is as if you had an employee working in your office. That's for the purposes of consistency, continuity, reliability, dependability. You're not being bounced around a bullpen. And you'll also always have the same project managers who supervise the designers. And these people can be reached all the time. So the only place where we have a bullpen is in the ad design. And ads come in and they're given to the first available designer who's free. Because an ad doesn't have to have a proprietary look like, let's say, the Ocala Gazette or Shore Local or Jazz Record. And the reason why you need dedicated designers because it's like custom tailoring. You can't just go to the Gap and make the Ocala Gazette look like the Ocala Gazette or the Jazz Record look like the Jazz Record. So, but with ads, there is a bullpen and it goes to the first available designer. The reason for that is speed. Most publishers, most ad salespeople, most ad managers, they want to see those ads back as soon as possible. They want to be able to get the proofs over to the customer as soon as possible. In fact, you can forward the proofs straight from our ad portal to the customer without even having to download it. And you can access it from any web-enabled device, phone, tablet, laptop, desktop. So from your car, you can send in changes and corrections based on what the advertiser likes or doesn't like, or maybe just changing what the special of the week is, or some prices or a phone number or whatever. Editorial, dedicated designers assigned to you. Advertising, we have a rotating pool.
JK is asking how many designers do you have? I don't know if that's information that's important or not, but I mean, as far as you want to release it to the industry.
I think at the latest count, we're about 106.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, the ad portal to me is just like, I mean, what I love about the ad portal too is it has the history. So I can actually update the same advertiser's ad every month in the portal, and it's showing me all the previous, they don't go away, right? They're all sitting there. So I can go back and say, would you modify this May from last year for this May with these changes? And I have no problem with that.
Yeah, all of your entire ad history is saved on the portal. And I should say also that all of your editorial design is saved in the cloud as well. So if you need to extract something from 2 years ago, last May, you could tell us, get that May 10th issue from 2 years ago, and I need you to pull a certain page or a certain section or a certain ad, and you're gonna find it. So yeah, I mean, we never delete or throw out anything.
And that's what's kind of neat because we're all busy and we don't, we keep file folders. I'm sure we all try to, but it's nice to know when I need to go after an ad, I can find it like in a heartbeat just by searching for it. And that's kind of important.
Mike, I can add to that. You asked a while ago, what my sales team thought of the change or the switch. What you guys have just talked about, the usability of the ad portal is amazingly simple and direct. It's probably one of the easiest things that we've stepped into as far as any of the systems that we've adapted over the course of 37 years and simplicity and easeability. And you can also tell that it was designed and developed by newspaper background rather than just developers who is not familiar with the industry. So it really, what they've done is they've mimicked, just like you have done in-house with your production and graphic arts team, they've mimicked that component and put it into a very simple online system that is so easy to access and send over. And Howard and team is so accommodating because it's not a stiff system. And if, like you said, if you want to send over a copy of something with sticky notes on it, they'll work with you. And it did take a little time to get my team on board just to start using the system because they're in their, routine. But when they finally did start sending things over in the early times and still with Design to Pro, they have wonderful aha moments like, oh my gosh, look at this design. This is so amazing. I love it. My client is thrilled. So there's really been very positive feedback from my sales team and the usability and just the approachability of Howard and all the assigned people that we get to work directly with us.
If I can just add for a moment, right now we're in a very competitive environment for print publishing, and it's imperative that ads really look good. And good-looking ads get read, they get eyeballs, and that leads to response. And at the end of the day, your advertisers want their business to improve. And if you're helping to be part of that solution and you're driving more business to them, they're going to spend more money with you. They're going to keep advertising with you, and they're going to spend more money with you. And so making your ads look good, in addition to your pages, it's vitally important that your ads really snap, crackle, and pop. And you can come back to us with requests for multiple variations and multiple styles and multiple iterations of an ad to please an advertiser from a whole different bunch of perspectives. And we're at the end of the day, we're about making you look good.
Continue to ask any questions in chat you wish to the group. Please feel free. We're getting near the end of our journey. We try to do this between 45 minutes and an hour. So I'm going to go around the horn once and ask two simple questions. What advice would you give to a publisher today when they're considering outsourcing from your own experiences? And I love this group because some have been doing it forever and some are like recent in just a few months. And finally, any ways that you would like to give advice to just how to be better at doing the layout? I mean, working with, if you decided to use an outsourced company, what have you learned in order to make sure that they're humming for you? I mean, because so we'll start with you, Jennifer. I see you nodding your head. If someone's sitting on the fence now, what advice would you give? And then more importantly, what have you learned from your experience working with an outsourced team to make it work better for you? Please share.
So I think one of the concerns I had going into it was keeping the same, I wanted to make sure the same quality was there. And so what we did early on was like for features and for most of our magazine publications, we already had templates. So we sent the InDesign templates to the designers, and they followed the rules that were already set in those InDesign files, and it kept everything very consistent. Then for the newspaper, similar, we sent our InDesign files that had the rules already saved in. And it has been so much easier than I could have ever expected. And the speed in which they turn it around is better than when I had an in-house graphic designer. Less expensive.
Don't put Howard on the spot. He said, if you talk about speed, no, but I agree. But we get it very quick.
Yeah. I mean, it really, my staff was surprised, how quick the turnaround was. And, once you get a system organized, they let us tell them how we wanted it set up. So every week we set up a Dropbox file. We have our different sections and we save our Word documents and our photos or a link to the photos in those sections. And every week they get a new box link. So it's a very simple system. And if we have to make a change, we tell them, never a problem. I mean, we rarely have any corrections. That's how tight it's working. If there's a correction, it's our fault. Like we didn't, it's an editing thing or whatever. It's been great.
Our May cover, the designer sent it to me and Robin. Robin, Bob, you and I have the same operation. My wife's editor in chief.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
She's running the show. I do the business side, and I sell. I have a team. I have a team that sells with me, and she has all these outsourced writers. But the cover, I remember that the designer, her name's Daria, sent us the cover, and we didn't respond back in 24 hours. So she bugged me. She actually said, "Mike, did you see the cover? What are you?" I mean, because she knew we had a deadline. You see what I'm? She gets to know our rhythm, and I explained to her that Robin and I were just, as Howard would say, marinating, in what we're trying to do. Let me swing this over to Lawrence. You've been quiet. Let's go back to New York City, our jazz enthusiast. Lawrence, advice to someone sitting on the fence about doing it, and what have you learned to make it the most efficient part of your system? Please share.
Well, I mean, Design 2 Pro has done an excellent job of putting together each issue after they receive each, all the content for each issue. I mean, it's really like putting together a jigsaw puzzle of features, reviews, and ads. And it's just incredibly admirable how they quickly acquainted themselves with, not only the layout, but they've kind of continued the tradition, as it were, of the New York City jazz record. So, I mean, as I mentioned before, it's been a seamless transition, and it just seemed like a no-brainer. And I'm really, again, want to compliment Richner for, uh, referring me to Design 2 Pro, because I really was getting ready to call it quits and say it had been a good run. So yeah, my advice to anyone that even has an inkling of interest in this would definitely be to go down this route and give it a shot, because it's been, with anything like this, there's always going to be, even if you have your own team, there's going to be issues, and it just goes without saying that most of these issues will get resolved and do get resolved. It's as we can all probably relate, it's a stressful business we're all in. But there's always kind of like a calming factor with knowing that it's going to get done when you send them an email. And yeah, nothing but good comments about my whole experience.
I got to say, to get a referral from Stuart Richner and that operation, and Zach, his son Zach, they're very highly respected in the industry. I just saw Stuart at the mega conference in Orlando, and I think that's great that he would say, "Hey, these are the guys." I'm going to pose the same. We got a question in chat, and then we're going to swing it over to Julie, and then finally, Bob. I always save the hoagie guy for last, the cheesesteak guy. So hang in there. Do you have a model where this is a great question from Chris Eddy? He's asking, I have an in-house designer. Can you work with them? Can you be their extension to help them with their work or to do quick work? Howard, again, it's a no-brainer, right? That's a simple, easy process.
Yeah, we can accommodate any kind of working arrangement. Sometimes an existing designer is just so overloaded and so overwhelmed that they themselves can't do their best work. And by sharing that workload with us, it makes their output better. It makes their job more satisfying and more productive. And so, yes, the answer is absolutely.
All right. Let me. Jennifer had to leave us, and we love you, Jennifer. Thanks for being part of it. You got to go make money, Julie. Your call. Advice to someone sitting on the fence. Let's bring it all home right now. And what have you learned in the experience, if you don't mind?
Well, I'll be the closing. I'll be Howard's commercial for closing. So if you're not if you're on the fence with Design to Pro, all the great reasons. Flat rate. Did he mention the flat rate? They cover the costs of the components that it takes to do their job, whether software. We started on with Howard and Design to Pro with Quark as our operating, templating and software. Like Howard said, they've got all the software needed to help convert things over. So they translated that design. You're saving on employee payroll, hardware, software. You're getting good turnaround time, and you're getting really good polished return on whatever it is that you're submitting.
And let's swing out to the shore, Bob. Advice on anyone sitting on we got Howard's contact information on the screen, please reach out to Howard. There will be a recording of this sent to all that registered, as well as a write-up, and we'll have links to Howard, but there he is. There's the hero of the day. Feel free to reach out to him, call him. That's your mobile, right, Howard? Someone wants to talk to you?
It is my only phone number. I think there's a chip planted directly in my brain.
I want to go out
So,
to my boyhood haunts of the Jersey Shore. Bob, advice to those that might be sitting on the fence. I'm not sure if I want to outsource. What do you say?
Absolutely, go for it. We were lucky enough to start with Howard and his team. We didn't have to adapt from another team when I launched Shore Local. We knew our printer recommended Design to Pro, and I don't see how we could have pulled it off any other way with an office and a in-house designer and dealing with the drama and when you can work, when you can't work, and working with the volume that we did and the speed. They've been fantastic. They literally turn around ads in an hour, less than an hour. If it's changes and it's the end of the day, I'll get them back in 2 minutes, because you know what, they want to, they need to finish too, and they respect every minute of our time. So and another great thing, if I can say, is how adaptable your model is. Like our model, I'm sure is different than the other publishers here. I have, and I'll pull this up, a layout. And this is just a piece of paper that I draw squares on for the ads. I give it to my wife at the end of the day. She fills in the spaces with the editorial. So it is like the jigsaw puzzle, like you mentioned. But your team, Howard, they take a scan out of this and they make a beautiful publication in 24 hours. So hats off to you.
All right, Howard. Um, Again, the pricing is beyond reasonable as someone who knows what you're charging. All I got to say is, all I got to do is just contact you, right? And you'll take a look at how many pages, and what it will, and you'll give them a fair price that they know it's going to cost every month. There's no extra charges for the extra stuff, as you said, correct?
there's no sticker shock. There's no overtime. There's no extras of any kind. You always know what your budget is. And I will tell you that for most people, we will save you between 50 and 70% over the cost of doing this kind of work in-house. And certainly even a minimum of 50% versus other freelance options. So that there is, in an environment where printing bills are escalating, to the stratosphere, this is a component of your production that you can absolutely positively get control of and reduce your costs on.
There we go. So I want to thank our wonderful panel today. I got to say, it was fun. You guys you're good. I've Jennifer, who had to run off and make money. Jennifer, thank you. I'll wave at you in Ocala. Julie Mann, publisher, San Diego Community News Group. Lawrence Donahue Green, managing editor, New York City Jazz Record. Howard Barbanel, executive vice president at San Design to Pro. And Bob, when I go to the shore with my wife this summer, I'm coming to see you. Okay. And
I'm picking the Shore Local.
I want. Is there still a Captain Starnes in Atlantic City or not, sir? Did that close down?
No, that's been closed. Yeah, just casinos and bad neighborhoods.
I'm so sorry, Howard. Thank you so much for your support of ENP
Thank
as
you,
well.
everybody.
We have a mission here of helping sustain journalism, and finding scale and finding sustainability models. We appreciate your support of us and how you've helped us through the industry as well. Everyone have a great day. Thank you for attending. And again, a link will be sent to everyone with the recording of this webinar. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.